This is a mock interview conducted by ForumIAS Academy at New Delhi. The interview panel includes eminent academicians, retired bureaucrats, and other luminaries. The objective of the program is to acquaint the candidate with the format and expectations of the personality test conducted by UPSC.
May I come in, sir?
Yeah, please.
Thank you, sir.
So, Neethu,
Yes, sir.
have your seat.
Thank you, sir.
So, just relax yourself. If you want to take your mass, if you want to, one.
Thank you, sir.
I hope now you are not tired.
Yes, sir.
You are fresh?
I am fresh.
Okay, good. So, you are a forester
Yes, sir.
by education.
Yes, sir.
Botanist also.
Yes, sir.
Huh? You have studied botany,
Yes, sir.
right? From Thrissur.
Yes, sir.
It's an important, very important seat of forestry education.
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Yes.
Okay. There is GI tag to a particular species in that area. What is that? Do you have some idea?
Yes, sir. There is a GI tag for Nilambur teak and then for Marayur jaggery.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Why for Nilambur teak?
Nilambur teak has got a peculiar property to its timber. It is like a very durable and very strong timber, and it is attributed due to the riverine sand of that area, alluvial sand of the area, and also to the location.
You are technical, that's why I am asking some technical part.
Sure, sir.
Why teak is so highly qualitative in nature? Why? What is the quality that makes it different from other teak? Nilambur teak.
Yes, it is due to the property of that area, the soil, edaphic properties of the soil.
That is one.
That is.
But that has come into the teak.
Yes.
The teak is now a qualitative teak compared to North Indian teak or Maharashtrian teak or even
Yes.
Madhya Pradesh teak. That quality is different. What is that quality which makes it different?
Due to this genetic combining, over the long years, it has become a separate ecocline. And that is why the teak from Nilambur has got a peculiar character.
What is the peculiar characteristic about the grains of it?
I don't know whether it is technically correct. Some people say that there is gold in that. Gold reserves also seen in that area.
Long grains are there. Long grains.
Long grains.
One.
Okay,
secondly, its color. It's it is not yellowish, but it is brownish.
Brownish, yes, sir.
That's why. And third important is that it develops some resistance toward termites and fungal disease by exudating by releasing some chemical, something like that. That's why it is free of disease and the insect pest attack.
Okay, sir.
So that makes it geographically different. What is this geographical indication? What is this GI? What is basically?
GI tag is a tag which is given to any product. It may be agricultural or handicraft product which owes its property to the peculiarity of that particular area.
And for a particular property of that particular product.
Product, yes.
Okay. And now come to, you might have come across those forests also.
Yes, sir.
What is peculiarity of those forests in your area, in Kerala area, especially in Nilambur and Thrissur? They are different forests. What is the difference compared to other areas?
In Nilambur, it is mostly moist deciduous forest.
Yes.
So, teak is growing in plenty.
Generally, it is evergreen forest.
Evergreen forest.
Even teak becomes evergreen.
Yes, sir.
That is, otherwise teak is never evergreen.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And in Thrissur area, there are pockets of evergreen tracts, especially in the Vazhachal area of Thrissur. And
there is some eucalyptus plantations, old eucalyptus plantation. Do you have seen those areas or do you know something about it?
Yes, sir. In the Idduki district of Kerala, there are eucalyptus plantations.
How old they are? What is the oldest eucalyptus tree in that area? Do you have some idea?
Usually, eucalyptus is a fast-growing species. They are regularly cut even within some span of years.
In that area, it is the oldest eucalyptus plantation over there. It's more than 100-year-old plants over there.
I'm not aware of it, sir.
Okay, but just see.
Sure,
and
sir.
there again the eucalyptus is different. and that is also have the large grains and very soft, clean bowl till top.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, that's why the eucalyptus and the teak of those areas, it's totally different.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now botany, that is important for forestry.
Actually, I am a BSc Honours forestry graduate.
But you have taken botany.
Yes.
And botany is very near to forestry.
Yes, sir.
So you cannot say that I say a forester should be a good botanist, only then he will be a good forester.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is this C4 and C3 plants?
Okay,
Do you have some idea?
Yes, sir. C3 and C4 are two kinds of plants. These are different due to their photosynthetic properties. C3 plants are mostly seen in tropical areas, in which the stomata opens and takes up carbon dioxide and produce the carbohydrates and store it in the leaf and other parts of the plant. In the case of C4 plants, it is if C4 plants are grown in the tropical areas, there is some special property called Kranz anatomy in that plants. This Kranz anatomy, it makes a spatial separation for the capture of CO2 and the production of and the C3 cycle. The capture of CO2 happens normally as in the other C3 plants through stomata, but CO2 is then moved into the bundle sheath cells where the Calvin cycle is done. So that is the difference.
So the respiration is reduced in those.
Respiration is
and
reduced.
Photosynthesis more. What is this CAM plant? Do you have some idea?
Yes, sir. CAM plants are showing a property called crassulaceous acid metabolism. They are mostly seen among the like desert plants, xerophytic plants.
Xerophytic plants.
Yeah. Yes. So in that there is temporal separation in which the CO2 is captured at night. Stomata opens at night to reduce the transpiration.
Yes. It is the night which plays important for photosynthesis.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. And now coming to, you are NCC and word watching.
Yes, sir.
Well, word watching. When do you see word watching mostly? And where?
Mostly early in the mornings and late in the afternoons.
Okay.
And it can be seen in several areas like wetlands and inside the forest fringe areas, etc.
See, inside the forest you can't see. They are hiding in the leaves.
Yes, but some species would like walk through the forest.
Whenever a tree which is having less leaves or a dry tree,
okay,
then you can see immediately.
See the birds, yes, sir.
Okay. What is the silviculture practice for word watching? Is it followed somewhere?
Sir, is it silvicultural?
Generally, that is called cultural operations, but as a technical person, it can be silvicultural operations. When we are felling the trees, then some trees are left. Or if the dry trees are there, they are always left. So that bird can come and feed on the ants and crickets or whatever it is.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. NCC, what is that taught you?
In NCC, mostly, as the motto of NCC says, it taught unity, the sense of unity and discipline.
And discipline.
Yes, sir.
And toughness in the body.
Toughness and leadership qualities and maybe team spirit. That is one great quality. Like before NCC, I was not a good team person.
Okay.
Right now, I am a better team person. I can be in a team and do works together, sir.
Do you get a knowledge of Forest Acts during studies?
Yes, sir.
Forest Act and when first Forest Act was enacted?
First Forest Act was enacted in the year of 1894.
1894. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is it 1894 or that is the year of first forest policy? Just go through.
Sir, I am not sure, sir.
It is in 1876, First Act.
Sure, sir.
Not
Thank you,
1894 was the first forest policy.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So, Neethu.
Yes, sir.
Neethu or Neethu?
Neethu. In Kerala, there is an H along with T for the pronunciation Ta.
Okay. So Neethu is okay.
Neethu.
Okay. So Neethu, how much time have you spent in North India?
Sir, I have spent almost 2 years in North India.
Perfect. When we visit Kerala, everywhere there is a greenery, and in Delhi you find absolutely dull, no greenery.
or little greenery.
Yes.
Why is it so? Kerala is that lush green, and why is it so? Our North Indian cities, Delhi, Mathura, Agra, don't have any greenery. Any reasons? Can you explain?
Yes, sir, I can explain a couple of reasons. First one is that Kerala is mostly occupying the western side of the Western Ghats. So, due to that orographic rainfall, most of the rainfall is falling towards the most entire part of Kerala. That's why Kerala is rich in water resources. That is the first reason why Kerala is having a lush green vegetation. The reason why Delhi is having less vegetation is that it is mostly it's proximal to the northern area, which is land not towards the sea, which is landlocked, and also there are cold waves associated from the northern polar regions. So rainfall is comparatively lesser in the Delhi areas, and due to the terrain and the less rainfall, it gives the less greenish vegetation of Delhi side.
Okay. You mentioned in your form completed an expedition to Anamudi Peak as part of Nilgiri TAHR Census 2015. Please elaborate what does this census means? The Nilgiri Tar Census.
Nilgiri tar is an endemic species in the Western Ghats.
Okay.
It is an endangered species according to the IUCN Red List.
Okay.
So every year there is a census conducted
Okay.
in the Iravikulam National Park.
Okay.
So I was part of that census in the year 2015.
Okay.
So the Anamudi Peak, which is the highest peak south of Himalayas, it is in Kerala and in the Iravikulam National Park. I hiked that peak as part of that census.
Okay. What do you understand by tree census? What is the meaning of tree census? Have you heard about tree census?
I have heard of it. Tree census. Sir, I'm not sure about it.
Okay. 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 What do we understand by social forestry? Give me a technical definition of social forestry.
Sir, social forestry is a practice of forestry which is taken place for the benefit of the society. It is mostly taking place in forest fringe villages as well as in other villages where the food, fodder and fuel crops are grown for the purpose of the society, for the community.
Okay. Where dolphins are found in our country?
And dolphins are mainly found in the Ganges River, Ganges and Brahmaputra and Indus River also, sir.
Why is it so that you don't find dolphins in Tungabhadra or Narmada or Yamuna? Why only Ganga? Any reason for that?
I cannot find a particular reason, but there is in Chilika areas there are dolphins, sir, which is able to thrive in salt water. Airavati dolphins.
Okay. You come from Kerala. These days there is a controversy in Kerala about train track. Some train track is being laid and some.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us about the controversy?
Yes, sir. Kerala is planning to take up a K-Rail project, which is a high-speed like a railway project. And the controversy is that it is the advantages, perceived advantages of the project is that from Thiruvananthapuram to Kasaragod across Kerala, it will take only 4 hours to travel. Then the carbon emissions after the commission of the project will be per capita, it will be 6 kg carbons as compared to a car travel, it will be 60 kg per head. So there is certain benefits, but the cons is that the initial cost of environmental cost is very high. Large embankments are made, and also it is across the rivers in Kerala. Kerala is rich in rivers, almost 44 rivers are there. So it is across all these rivers. So there will be high environmental issues associated with that in Kerala, because Kerala is already ecologically fragile due to floods and all. So, so there needs to be a consideration on that aspect, and there is no proper social impact assessment done for this project. So, and the environmental impact assessment results have not been published as well. These are the controversies associated with KRL projects, sir.
But don't you think you will become jungle boys and girls without this kind of new projects? So should we really be concerned about all these environmental problems, or we should go for this fast track trend? What's your opinion?
In my opinion, there should be a proper environmental impact assessment, sir. Especially in Kerala, where there are devastating floods and there is many projects which is unsustainable across the Western Ghats. And so there are many large dams also. So I think there needs to be a reconsideration, and there should be proper environmental and social impact assessment, and the results must be transparently published to the community.
There is an understanding outside Kerala that Keralites oppose everything. They oppose everything. Industries are shifting out of Kerala. New industries are not coming to Kerala. So don't you think that despite having lots of good natural resources, very smart boys and girls like you, Kerala is not industry developed? What's the reason behind that?
Sir, historically, Kerala's landscape is that there is high ranges. Most areas are high ranges, then some mid ranges and low-lying coastal areas. So in high ranges, mostly due to the terrain and all, there are not many industries. Plantations are grown there, and in the coastal areas also similarly there are rice and paddy cultivation. So there is also not much scope for industries. Only in the mid ranges there are industries. That is the historical reason why industries are less. Also in Kerala, there is high social progress. The importance was given mostly to education and health, and most of the people are educated, so they took up more service sector jobs in Kerala, and many of them migrated to Gulf countries. And sir, maybe these may be the reasons why industries are not very developed in
Okay,
Kerala.
my dear friend, you are a forestry graduate, but you
Yes.
know these days everything has to be assessed in terms of economy. Like, for example, Government of India is having a program called monetization, where its companies, its assets are rented out or are sold outright to generate some money. Suppose you are asked, give us an economic value of a forest, valuation of forest. How would you value a forest in terms of economies? There are certain methods. Tell me any method. Valuation of a forest.
Forest valuation can be done based on the ecological. Can I take a moment, sir?
Please take your time. No issues. Think, structure, then talk.
Sir, I'm not getting that word.
No issues. No issues. Mentioned you in your form is that you read fiction.
Yes, sir.
What is the last book of fiction you studied?
I'm currently reading The Origin by Dan Brown, sir.
What is in the book?
It is mostly dealing with religion versus science controversy.
Okay. Sir.
Okay. Neethu.
Hi, sir.
Okay. So, Neethu, you have studied in Thrissur.
Yes, sir.
There is a very important temple festival which takes place over there, Thrissur Puram.
Yes, sir. It is Guruvayur temple, like in Vadakunnatha temple.
Okay,
Thrissur.
okay.
In Kerala, sir. It is in Thrissur.
Okay, okay. So, elephants are also, part of the festival.
Yes, sir.
What steps does the temple administration take for the proper care of the elephants?
Sir, in the Thrissur Puram, mostly captive elephants are taken. And these captive elephants, some of them are under the temple authorities and some others are by the local people, private owners.
Okay.
And there are captive elephant rules of 1971 in Kerala. And according to that, there are proper codes for transportation and management of elephants. Yes.
Okay, okay, fine. So, Kerala is known for its backwaters,
Yes.
and most of the tourism of Kerala is concentrated either on the coastal side or in the backwaters. What are some of the ecological issues that are faced in the region of backwaters?
Is it due to tourism, sir?
Yeah, maybe due to tourism or flooding that you understand of.
Due to tourism, the impact is that there are more and more number of resorts and boat tourism coming in that place. So it causes a damage to the environment, and boat tourism, it creates noise which should be detrimental to the fauna, especially the fauna within the water, backwaters. Since backwaters is an ecotone area, there will be it will be very rich in biodiversity. So it will affect the biodiversity of the area as well, sir. This is one aspect. And then next thing I can remember is that there would be waste generation due to tourism and all. Waste is generated and not properly managed. So it is mostly generated into the backwaters area. It is again polluting the waters. These are the main reasons, sir.
Okay. You mentioned about ecotone.
Yes, sir.
What is the definition of ecotone?
Ecotone is a transition zone between two different communities, two different ecosystems.
Okay, that's good. So, Neethu, can you tell me what percentage of the Nilgiris lies in Kerala?
I'm not sure about the percentage, sir.
Okay, and which are the districts which are covered by the Nilgiris?
It is Wayanad, Palakkad, Kozhikode.
Okay, that's good. So, you have mentioned one of your hobbies as bird watching.
Yes, sir.
How do you practice this hobby?
Currently, I am residing in a town area. So, mostly I practice with my naked eye through my window.
Okay.
And before that, when I was in my village, I used to use binoculars as well. I used to go to other areas also, in field areas also, to watch birds. Now only through my window, sir.
Okay. What are some of the endemic bird species in Kerala?
Okay, so some endemic species are Nilgiri flycatcher, Nilgiri wood pigeon, then Malabar trogon, then red and white, black and red flycatcher.
Okay, that's good. So, Neethu, we are seeing that since the last 3 years, Kerala is facing the problem of intensive flooding.
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me what are the anthropogenic reasons for it? Or is it purely due to natural reasons?
No, sir. It is also due to anthropogenic reasons.
Okay.
First reasons can be said as the climate change, because there is heavy downpour of rainfall. The intensity and frequency have much increased, and there was heavy downpour. That is why the dams could not take up much water, and dams had to be opened up simultaneously. Also, there was this problem of river erosion. That's why there was siltation in dams. So the capacity of dams were much reduced, and there were also mismanagement of dams in that way. We were not expecting such a huge floods and rains. It happened once in a century. So that was there, and there was also encroachment of river banks. This is also one other reason why the floods were happened. Also, there is in the past decade there was a tendency to put tiles on the courtyards. To reduce. It happened in almost most areas of Kerala along the last decade. So the water percolation area has also reduced.
Okay.
All these are the reasons, sir.
Okay, that's good. So, Neethu, during the COVID crisis in the last 2 years, Kerala faced the problem of, that the COVID wave was not subsiding in Kerala. One of the reasons that was stated was that the semi-urban sort of townships in Kerala, that makes it difficult to isolate the population, which was possible in other states, because you could impose a lockdown in a city, then probably you can remove it from some parts of the city. Do you think that was the reason, one of the reasons for the continued presence of COVID in Kerala?
Sir, Kerala is a heavily dense state. Its population density is around 862 per square kilometers. So it is a reason, sir. People live in contiguity, and there are apartments are there, and mostly there are still different buildings associated with each people, each families. So more area is needed also. So like there is no. That is also a reason why people can't be isolated much. People live together. in many townships, sir.
Okay, thank you, Neethu.
Thank you, sir.